Update, kids are mine. Hello. Yes, I am the father. I mean, I knew 99% kids are mine, but you never know. At the end, I thought my wife is a loyal woman, but she isn't. I can say I can breathe with the full lungs finally. Now everything is easier. When I received results today, I was so scared to read it. I needed to take 10 minutes before I actually saw the results. Damn, if someone told me this would be my life, but here we are. I started to work today again. Melody's taking care of everything. My friend and his wife are there to help her. She sent me pictures of my kids when she drove them from the school and when they were eating. She is really good and kids love her. Well, these last 5 days were really tough mentally, so let me start weekend. My wife didn't call me at all since I told her about DNA tests. She was still sending me messages but didn't call. Her friend told me she looks like shit and behaves like she has mental breakdowns. She would send me about 30 messages per day. Before it was 150, 200 at least. Mostly were something like this: good morning, have a great day. I am so sorry for everything. Please call me if you have any desire. I am so proud of you, how you are taking care of everything. I can't express how sorry I am for everything. I wish I never went out that night. I wish I told you immediately. She would sometimes change the words, but the context would be the same. And she would send me some pictures of us and kids from the past, from the vacations, us all being on the couch, in the restaurants, etc. I have to say that until yesterday, she would just FaceTime with my daughter. Son still refused every day, but she didn't come to pick her up. IDKY, but as her friend says, she just doesn't seem normal right now. Well, my brother called me in the Saturday. I didn't tell him or anyone in my family what is going on. Whenever they would call to see my kids, me and my wife, I would have some excuse why my wife isn't near me. I knew she didn't tell them until she actually did. So my brother called me and he told me she confessed everything. He was shocked and couldn't believe. He thought we were joking with him. Yes, people, with all the evidence, is still no one can believe. I think people would rather believe she became president of the USA than this. That's how shocking and how big betrayal this is. My brother's wife is very close to my wife. After she heard about all of this, she cut every contact with her. My brother did the same. At first, I thought she did it because of me, to show me support, even though, as I said, they are really close. But no, she did it also because she is also disgusted by her and doesn't want to see a person like her around my brother, her husband. I actually laughed at this, but I appreciated support. So my wife lost one of the last people she could call. My brother told me they will come to see me soon, so I am glad. Then my parents called me. My wife told them also everything. My father supports every decision I make, and he tells me just to do the best for me and the kids. On the other hand, my mother tells me I should forgive my wife because she is human and did the mistake. She is remorseful, ready to do anything, and one mistake should not be enough to forget on 11 years of love and 3 kids she gave me. I told her immediately that it wasn't one mistake, but 4 mistakes in 1 month duration. Her answer was, you should ask yourself, why did she do that? Was everything okay with you two? I hung up immediately. I love my mom. After kids, she is by far the most important person in my life, and I would do everything for her. She saved my life when I was younger and having so many problems. If she wasn't my mother, I would be in the grave or on the street, and she is my guardian angel. But I just can't believe she could say something like that. Then my father attacked her. Why is she defending cheaters? My mother apologized immediately. She just thinks about what is best for my kids and told me whatever I decide she also supports. I didn't have enough energy to talk anymore. Wife's parents and her brother still don't talk with her and actually told me that they will call her friend to tell her that they will send remaining stuff she has in her own country to her and that she is not allowed to enter their house anymore. If we forget on all of this, weekend was actually really good. We went with my friend's family to watch football game, went shopping, kids were laughing and smiling at that's what is most important. Now, another chaos with my wife. You remember how I told you she stopped calling me? It didn't last long. I need to add a little bit context here. My first assistant at the work for the last 16 months is Sarah Burkford, 29. She is a great worker, professional, very smart and kind person. But she is also really attractive, and since she moved here, and since she works with me, also single. I told my wife about her before she started to work with me. My previous assistant was a guy. She was okay with that, nothing special, until she saw how she looks and that she is single. Then she became cautious. Irony, huh? Sarah would sometimes send me messages during the night, 9 p.m., and always about work, but she would wish me good night, as my wife would say in a weird way, and my wife would be very angry and insecure about that. Irony, huh? 2.0. Then she would sometimes come at my workplace with the kids without calling me. I didn't have any problem with that, since she would do this also before when I didn't work with Sarah. But now she was doing this firstly to see how me and Sarah would react. Anyway, with the time her jealousy decreased because I assured her nothing is going on, but she was concerned about her intentions, and she would say she can see Sarah is eating me with the eyes, and my wife never liked her and was really cold whenever them two would be near each other. This Monday we had a really important event in our company. Me and Sarah were always in the contact since I took days off the work. I told her it's about personal reasons and she wished me all the best. I didn't want to go on that event, but eventually they told me to come. I asked Sarah, does she want me to pick her up? I know how this sounds, but I have my reasons why I asked her. Event was in the hall in the different part of the city, and I literally needed to drive near her apartment complex to come there. She doesn't drive. I never picked her up before because of my wife. She was working extra since I am at home, and she was doing basically my job for free and never said a thing. At the end, I don't need to explain anything to my wife. I can pick up 10000 girls now if I want. I picked her up, we talked, came on the event, we were on the same dinner table with 6 more people. I drove her back home. She wished me good night. I did the same and went home. Melody was there. I wished her good night. My kids were sleeping and I went in my bedroom. And then I went to see messages on the WhatsApp. I turned off all notifications from Viber, Line, WhatsApp, Telegram because my phone is melting when my wife starts with her calls and messages. And there I saw a lot of messages from my wife and her friend. I checked messages from her friend and basically she told me my wife is going crazy and having mental breakdown because someone told her that me and Sarah were really close and enjoying time together on that event. I asked her immediately who told her that and she told me she can't tell me. My wife was saying how I changed her for younger, irony, 3.0, smarter and more attractive model. How my kids were going to have young stepmom who will be with me whole day because we work together and are very likely already together. I just started to laugh and said that I don't have time for this nonsense. If there's one thing that I really don't care now and is not on my mind, then it is having any relationship with any woman now. Even if I did something and I didn't, I don't owe her shit. I was loyal more than 11 years to her, and to be honest, I had much more situations where girls were approaching me thinking I am single than guys approaching her, and she fucked up, not me. I went under the shower and I was just asking myself who told her this. My wife is not close to anyone from my work. She doesn't talk with anyone. The only person that knows about my situation from the work is my female coworker that recommended me Melody. She is really close to me and she had horrible things to say about my wife after I told her everything, and she didn't say anything to anyone 100%. I just said to myself, someone from the work that doesn't like me sent her message, probably from the burner account, and that's it. I called Sarah and told her we need to see each other tomorrow. And yesterday we went on the coffee and I told her everything about my wife. She was shocked who could say something like that. I told her everything because of a few reasons. I expected my wife to call her and have another lunatic episode. Luckily she didn't. I wouldn't lose my job at all if this is even true between us, but I don't want that someone is saying complete lies about me. Also, why would anyone talk lies about her? She is sleeping with her boss and that's why she has a job. And also, I didn't want to hear any rumor that my infidelity is the reason for my divorce, and with that possibly can ruin my chances during divorce process. She told me she will tell me if she hears anything, and today when I returned at the job, everything was perfect. My wife started to call me again every 5 minutes. She constantly cries, begs for new chance. She will do everything, whatever I want. She came yesterday to see kids. My sons were on the football practice, but she took our daughter. When she brought our daughter back, she tried to ask me a few questions about Sarah, but I left immediately. I don't need to explain myself to her at all. But the thing I do notice about her is that she lost definitely some weight. Her friend tells me my wife refuses to eat, and bags under her eyes look like she's crackhead. And Friday, my younger son turned 7, but he will celebrate on Saturday with his friends and other kids in our house. My wife will be there, and her being around me for a few hours is one huge disaster in the making, but I will try to stay calm because of my kids. And Sunday, I plan to confront her one-on-one about DNA results and offer her deal about her future, so I will update after that probably. I promise myself this won't be long, but it is long. Sorry guys, apparently I am not capable to make long stories short. Thank you for your nice messages and comments like always, and take care. Update, son's birthday and my mental breakdown. Hi everyone. I said I will update after I speak with my wife on Sunday about everything, but I actually already did it, or maybe did it. It will be a long post, so feel free to skip it. If no one reads it, I'm okay. I feel better when I write this because I'm feeling the worst ever, so at least I can vent here. And Thursday, my wife called me, can she take our daughter for the sleepover? Our daughter doesn't go in the kindergarten on Friday, so she is free. I told her she can. She came, and again, she tried a little talk with me, but I didn't want anything. She wanted to talk, but I told her to leave. But she asked me, can she talk a little bit with our younger son since he will turn 7 next day? I called him and he came. He was standing away from her, but he was listening to her. She told him how she already bought him gifts and how much she loves him. Eventually, she hugged him and kissed him, but he didn't respond. He literally didn't say a word and just left while she was standing there. My older son still refuses to see her, let alone talk with her. She left with our daughter and promised that they will be back until 5 p.m. tomorrow. So about 24 hours they will be together. She was sending me a lot of pictures, how they are making pancakes, sleeping together, and are playing together. And also sent me so many messages how she regrets this is not happening with all 5 of us right now. Yesterday, Friday, my son became grown man. He is 7. I woke him up and me and my older son congratulated him. He was really happy and in a good mood. I drove them to the school and went to work. While I was working, my wife called me again, asking can she spend afternoon and evening with our son and daughter. She assumed older son will refuse. Again, I said she can. She was texting me through the day that she planned everything, and I know she was excited. They will go eat, then they will go in the amusement park, they will drive go-kart, then go on ice creams. I liked everything. To be honest, my younger son, in my eyes, suffers the most with this situation, while my daughter is very young and unaware of anything and sees her mother a lot, and my older son is very clear that he doesn't want to have contact with my wife. The younger son is very quiet and looks very confused, so I like the idea of them 3 spending time together. I specifically told her to not enter the house and wait for me because I need to talk with him firstly, and I need to see his reaction. I don't want to force him on anything. She agreed and told me she will wait me. I had to stay a little bit more at the workplace, and my friend and his wife were waiting for me in my house so they can go with me to buy everything I needed for the birthday: food, drinks, cakes, gifts. I texted my wife and told her I left my workplace a little bit late and that there is big traffic in the city, so I will be late. She told me she is close to my house, but she will wait me. I called my friend and told him that my wife is coming. I also called Melody to prepare another clothes for my daughter and asked her what my sons are doing. Everything what happened after that I didn't see. Melody friend and his wife told me this, and I believe them 100%. My wife arrived with her friend and our daughter. Apparently my daughter invited her in the house to show her something, according to my wife's friend. My friend and his wife with my sons were inside of the house then. Melody was in the backyard and stopped her from entering the house. My wife started to fight with Melody. Who is she to forbid her to enter the house with her daughter? Our friend's wife heard the noise and went out. Friend's wife and my wife were friends, but she doesn't talk with her anymore after I told her what happened. She told her to calm down and to respect my decision. Wife was much more calm and kind towards friend's wife than she was with Melody. My daughter was then calling her again from the door to come, and they again stopped her from entering the house. My wife's friend told her to wait for me in the street, and then my older son stormed from the house, started to yell at her that no one loves her, to get out of here, that we are happy without her, and daddy is happy without you, and that everyone hates her. She started to cry and begged him to talk with her, but he was yelling like crazy at her. She left the gifts for my younger son and went with her friend in the car. Then my older son took those gifts and threw it on the street while they were in the car. My friend then put him in the house, and according to friend's wife, my wife left crying like crazy. I came home, didn't see wife, and then they told me everything I couldn't believe. All my kids were always kind, nice, not spoiled, and never rude. My older son was always a little bit more connected with me, but he never ever told anything rude to my wife before all of this, and he always loved her so much. So I told him to come in my room. I literally asked him, is he normal? He apologized to me and said he couldn't listen to her anymore. I told him he should never ever talk like that with his mother, and that those gifts aren't for him, and that he doesn't need to apologize to me, but to his mother and brother. He started to cry, saying I am forcing him to call my wife and that he won't talk with her because he hates her. I was speechless. I know he needs therapy, and I will solve that really soon. He apologized to his brother. Then I spoke with younger son. I asked him, does he want to see his mother on the birthday tomorrow? And he said he doesn't. I asked him a few times, is he sure? And he said he is. He also refused to see gifts from her and told me to give her back everything she bought. So I called wife's friend to tell her about this. She told me my wife is having panic attack and struggles to breathe. After 2 hours, she called me that she needed to call 2 of her own friends because of my wife, and that she is sleeping now after she took some pills. Today when I woke up, I saw messages from my wife. She basically told me she doesn't want to live anymore. She can't live without us and she wants to leave, and left me and our 3 kids alone. I called her and told her that I will send her pictures and videos from the birthday, but to not disturb me today, and that I will talk with both sons sons after this. She thanked me, and again she was saying how sorry she is. A lot of kids came on the birthday, also friends from my older son and my daughter, so many parents, my friends with their kids. I was just looking at all those couples, how they are smiling and enjoying together while I am trying to pretend everything is okay. What my life turned into, I really wanted to vomit then. I just wanted birthday to finish as soon as possible. When Melody left as the last one, and my kids were in the living room opening the gifts, I went in the garage and I called my wife. I told her to not interrupt me and to shut up. I was screaming, yelling, crying, sarcastically laughing for about 5 minutes, and I told her so many bad things. I didn't curse all people in the world together as much as I did her. I told her the worst things, and I don't regret anything I said to her. She didn't interrupt me, but I could hear her crying. When I finished with my part, she just said, "I am so sorry, I will do anything," and kept crying. I wanted to break my phone in that moment. Just told her to fuck off, and I ended the call. Now I am sitting in the dark bedroom, and I am writing this. I am just asking myself, what the fuck did I do to deserve this? Is this karma for my crazy behavior when I was younger? I guess I will never know. I was always problematic kid, good in school, horrible out of school. I was running from the house so I could be with my girlfriend. I was stealing money from the parents. My mom came on the idea that I should start practicing taekwondo so I could release all my energy there. Boy, she was wrong. I started to fight every day, and I ended up few times in the police, and then I went on to college. I became friend with wrong people. I would have exams in 9 a.m. and I would stay in casino till 6 a.m. playing poker tournaments or blackjack, or I would just drink and go in the nightclubs with the friends and girls. Then I met my wife. She came to work in my country. Some guys had eyes on her, but she was shy and I was a complete mess. But for some reason, she liked me. 3 months after she had to go back in her country, but she decided to stay with me. She gave me almost all of her savings so I can pay my debts. After about 5 months of relationship, I really thought she's insane for doing that. I still do, but she did change my life, and I changed myself because of her. We left about 10 months after for Asia. I will never forget first apartment where we lived. It was the biggest shithole I have ever lived or maybe even saw. I have no idea how we lived there for 8 months, but we were saving money and we were really happy. Like now I have house, cars, money, and I am not happy. I don't want to sound arrogant, but girls always says I am good looking guy in the great shape. I'm working out 3-4 times per week. I have great job, career, and I know I can find new GF wife easily, but I seriously think I will never ever marry again. I will never trust anyone 100%. I know this might be temporary feeling and that life is full of challenges, and I should be happy because my kids, parents, brother, SIL, nephews, friends are all healthy and love me, but I am really tired and empty. Sometimes I just want to give up, but then I remember I have 3 kids. Everyone around me expects me to be some kind of magician who is expected to do everything good for everyone around me. Everyone expects me to suffer in silence and to not say a shit what is going through my head. Do best for your kids. Take care of your wife. Maybe she will do something to herself. Do that. Don't do that. Forgive her. Go on, MC. Don't forgive her, destroy her. Forgive her because of the kids, and in some time, you will love her again. Fuck her, don't forgive her. Kids are better with you and without her. I am so tired. Tomorrow is just day for me and kids. Thank you all.